All right, so a few days ago I was working on some stuff and I realized, you know what, I need to build up some data. And I was thinking about data builders, because Camel has been working on data builders. And so before doing it myself, I decided I'll go and, he wasn't here, so I wandered over and talked to Paolo, who realized that I was attacking him just because of proximity to Camel. And I took a look at what Camel had been doing. And what Camel's been doing is great. The only thing I didn't like about it was it seemed to be a lot of hand-coded code. Hand-written code. And so the way it works is you say build a fop, and then you say with name build. And that lets you build up a fun-to-fun with a bunch of default things and with a particular name. Nice and clean. The interface is wonderful. Apparently the implementation, though, is that I have to write a class and have to implement public fop builder, so on, with name, and then I have to write all that in myself. And I thought, I don't want to write all that for some builders. So I took a look online and found Make It Easy. And apparently Camel had looked at this as well, and I think we both had the same reaction to it, which was, I haven't talked to Camel, so I'm kind of putting words in his mouth. It looks really cool, but it has lots of problems. Is that about right? Yeah. So the way something like this would look in Make It Easy is you'd say, make a fop with name foo. I think I closed it off. And that looks great. It actually reads really well until you realize what it has now done to your namespace. I've now got make a fop with name all in my namespace. Hopefully I didn't have up above and want to write that. Plus, the more you do this, the more words are going to come into your namespace. Probably very common words for the various properties that you're going to have. So, but underneath the implementation of this, I thought was really nice. It's very declarative. You just get to say, I've got a property called name. I've got a property called currency. I've got another property called something else. And then I've got something that builds me a fund of hedge funds. And from that, it works it all out, and defaulting is fairly nice. So, but this was a problem. So I decided to experiment with it a little bit, and essentially just wrap up all of that stuff. Keep the framework for how you declare the things, but change it so that I took a trick from JMock and started kind of namespacing it. So I said, this, how much time do I have? And then the instance initializer pattern that shows up in JMock a lot. Yeah, it's ugly, but it's better than the namespace collision, and I didn't want to have to hand code everything. And then in here I just say with name foo. So I've still got a slight namespace collision. If I wanted a variable outside of here called name, I can't use it inside here because name is now shadowed. But with and name and all of my other properties aren't going to be colliding with anything else I have in the file. It's about the same amount, a little more noise from the Java-iness of it, but I don't have to hand code all of those different setters. So that's something I've been experimenting with.
You still have to hand code name though.
I have to,
and all the fields that are inside FOPmaker, right?
Yeah. So internally, what it looks like is there's a public property. There's a thing called property, and you say name equals new property, and that creates your property for you. then when you want to actually build your fund-to-fund, at the point where you need to set what the value is going to be in the object you create, you have a little thing you say, lookup. And this is all part of the Make It Easy framework by Nat Price, part of the Goose pair. So when you look it up, you just say lookup value of name, and then give it a default, and you get your stuff. So there's essentially the boilerplate of having to write all the setters is gone.